Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Before we get into today's deck, this is kind of a funny story. I have been sick, like most of the world has. Not the sick, but I got for about 4 days. I kind of checked out, and I don't remember those 4 days. I was here at the house. Girlfriend came to took care of me, but it was yeah. But when I came to after I was better and the memory starts to kick in, I had this deck sitting on the table here. I built this apparently, and I don't remember it. So we're gonna see. I haven't listed it yet on Architect. Normally, I'd list the deck before I get to this point and record it, but I didn't this time because I just kind of wanted to see what's in here. So, uh, so let's look at it and let's see. So, this is deck number 600, and I haven't even labeled the thing yet. I guess this would be what 609, 610. Y'all will know by the time it's up because it'll probably be the in the name like I do. But Anowon the Rune Thief. Now, this is the blue-black Precon commander from Zendikar Rising, one of the two, along with Obun. But for 4 mana, we get a 2/4 Vampire Rogue, so you can go either way. Rogues get +1/+1, so that was evidently the way I went. In a lot of ways, this is like deconstructing somebody else's deck, because I don't remember it. Whenever one or more rogues you control deal combat damage to a player, that player mills a card for each 1 damage dealt to them. Pretty sweet. Combat damage and milling together. If the player mills at least 1 creature, you get to draw a card. So the way that's worded, I am taking it as if I make you mill 5 and you mill 5 creatures, I'm still only getting to draw 1 card. So, we're going to go about this just like we normally do, and we're going to start with ramp, which is mostly like, it's a soul ring, mind stone, the 3 Demir rocks, the locket, the key rune, and the signet, and then a Bonder's ornament. Now, I have Frog Tosser Banneret in the ramp slot because, let's face it, there is a hefty chunk of this deck that makes cheaper, like that many cards. So, Goblin and Rogues cost 1 less. So far, so good, right? Since we are going travel, it appears Obelisk of Erd. Now, this is the only, Anthem type card I have in the deck. But maybe Anthem type cards is where we need to really be, because giving creatures +2/+2, that's 2 extra cards milled in addition to 2 extra damage. Card draw, not. Whoa, I am really shy on the card draw. Have a brainstorm, military intelligence, so because obviously we're planning on attacking with creatures, so and then a reconnaissance mission. We're attacking with creatures. Okay, well, that's not many cards, but that's a bunch of cards. I don't know. So let's get into the rogue, shall we? The very first. I don't have these in any particular order. It looks. Yeah, no particular order. I think that's a good description of the entire deck. Sure-footed infiltrator. Tap another rogue you control. Can't be blocked. Deals combat damage. Draw a card. Okay, so that's some card draw. Sorry, I'm having to read a lot of these because a lot of these new Zendikar cards I don't have committed to memory yet. Flash flying 2 mana 1/3 as long as 8 or more rogues you control get +1. That's cool. And whenever they attack, each opponent mills 2. So we're really doing some milling. Deep Channel Mentor. A lot of A lot of our cards are blue. Making them unblockable is pretty sweet. Merfolk Windrobber. Deals combat damage that player mills a card. Notion Thief is a good rogue, right? Pretty neat. Hope somebody don't wheel. Nightshade Stinger. 1/1 flyer for 1. That's a rogue. Zulaport Duelist. To 1 target creature. Its controller mills 2. Fourth Bridge Prowler. 1 mana, 1/1 rogue. See, I'm guessing my idea was as many small, like Invisible Stalker is an unblockable rogue. Prickly Boggart's a 1/1 fear rogue, kind of evasion. Ink Fathom Infiltrator can't be blocked. Triton Shore Stalker can't be blocked. Slitherblade is another rogue that can't be blocked. So that's what it kind of looks like. Is it's just real quick creatures and get them starting to mill. So that's what it. Bloodthirsty Aurelius. Now this is a vampire and a rogue. I don't know about the life gain thing. I'm not exactly certain if. But even without the +1 counter life gain thing, we have a 2/3 flying rogue. So that's still not terrible. Earwig Squad. Prowl cost. We are going to jump off the creatures here for a second and get our rogue adjacent cards. I have 3 more Prowl cards. Notorious Throng. It makes a bunch of rogues. Knowledge Exploitation. And then Thieves' Fortune. Now, Thieves' Fortune is just Impulse. It costs 1 more than Impulse. If you get to Prowl, it's 1 less than Impulse. So that's cool. Back to creatures. Death Cult Rogue. Can't be blocked except by rogues. Tetsuo Umezawa is a rogue that has the great ability for the deck. I mean, it's just... I swear this was a plant. It was a plant a couple years ago. Sig River Cutthroat. Gonti Lord of Luxury. Changeling Outcast, because why not? It's a rogue, right? Fairy Vandal. I don't know why I didn't put Una's black card first, because this is the rogue. I figure there are going to be a lot of builds of this particular deck. I figure that this card is probably going to be the one that's in the most. Yeah. So, Nighthawk Scavenger. Now, this is a beast of a card. R&D. I mean, I would have loved to have been sitting down in that, It's like, okay, how do we make Vampire Nighthawk better? Auntie Snitch. Expedition Skulker. Marrow Bone Gnawer. It's hard to say marrow and not have marrow sound like marrow, which was designed by Marrow, but not like bone marrow, and not like it's like a fish. Yeah, you get the idea. Zulaport Cutthroat is a rogue, and our creatures are going to die, so that's a thing. Glasspool Mimic, using some of the either or lands, and it's a really good one, and it's still a rogue. So, Thieves Guild Enforcer, kind of like this one, or another rogue enters the battlefield. Each opponent mills 2. Obviously, a plant in Core 21. Nocturnal Feeder. And our last rogue is a Black Bloom Rogue. And why are we not there? We were just too far away. Now, actually not our last rogue. Our last rogue is Ogre Slumlord. And I'll be honest with you, I was on the fence about including Ogre Slumlord. Right now. I don't know. I mean, I say on the fence. obviously right before this, I sorted it all out into the categories. And I run across Ogre Slumlord early, and I was like, what? It's a rogue, but it don't do rogue things. And there's no rats in the deck. And then I run across Marronar. Marronar is a rogue. It does do the rogue thing. But the two of them together, pretty neat. Una, Queen of the Fae. Makes rogues, not a rogue. Does the milling, actually mills into exile, so that's beautiful. Consuming Aberration, it came with the deck. Cards in your opponent's graveyard. Now, this is great for multiplayer. I love it. And then, this is questionable. Psychosis Crawler. Brian, why do you have a Psychosis Crawler in here? We're not drawing enough cards, I don't think, to merit a Psychosis Crawler. I mean, just through the normal playing of the game, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. I have some weird, like, Relic Golem. Can't attack or block unless the opponent has 8 or more cards, and then target player mills 2 cards. It's a millstone. They put a millstone on a 6/6 creature. You know, it would have been a really great plant if they had, actually put a millstone somewhere in that art. It would have been cool. Gruesome Menagerie. Choose a creature. Oh, yeah. You get a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and 3-drop back. Not bad for 5 mana. And then Beacon of Unrest. Now, I really wanted Beacon of Unrest. I like it. The more I talk about this, the more I'm starting to remember actually building this deck. That's weird. It does make sense because you're milling everyone's graveyard, and you get choice here from a graveyard. Then you get to get this back. So let's look at our removal. Got a little counter magic here. Negate, Spell Pierce, Miscalculation, and Rewind. We got a Murder. Feed the Swarm. Now, I don't know that I'm going to have enough of these. I'm probably going to do a mass purchase on this item. I can see me buying 100 of them. Because I'm going to need this. For mono black decks and decks like this that don't have a lot of pinpoint removal for enchantments. Yeah. I'll lose that life. I don't care to get rid of, that enchantment that's killing me. Pax Disdain. Yeah, Morning Tide. Morning Tide is probably the best kept secret from Zendikar Rising. There are so many, because Morning Tide focused on classes and not races. So rogues, warriors, and one other, I can't, it's like they made Morningtide Part 2. So, but Pax Disdain, great card. And then lastly is Sulamgar's Command, which is removal of whatever you want it to be. Now let's get into the non-basic lands, of which there are aplenty for a 2-color deck. We have a Clearwater Pathway, which I really, really like. These are... every one of these pathways are yes, we can call the pathway lands, but what are we calling the, spell on one side, land on the other? Are we calling, cassette lands was my first thing, because you got side A or side B, but I'm an old guy. There's an entire generation that doesn't know what a cassette is. But anyway, I like these. I like the option. I think these are better in EDH than they are in other formats because we have stuff like bounce lands that we can, if we make the decision and somehow the game changes and we need the other color, we can reset it, if you will. Rogue's Passage, Temple of the False God. Gotta have that Bajuka Bog. I'm impressed that I actually put Bajuka Bog in there. Dusk Mantle, random milling, I guess. Ponderland, in the name of Halimar Depths. Demir Guildgate. Scoot back a little bit. Joral Refuge. Thriving Moor and Isle. Dismal Backwater, Submerged Boneyard, and Myriad Landscape. Love this new art on Myriad Landscape, by the way. But that is the deck. I did get a chance to a buddy of mine on Friday come over, and I saw it play. Yes, even use the rogues. I like those extra cards that they give us, you know, these in Jumpstart and then the art cards, because I use them for stuff like that. But that is Anowon. I am not going to go put this onto the wall. I mean, I will, but I've got to label it and, you know, put it on Architect. So, I forgot my tokens. It's okay. I'm about to reopen it anyway. But I do appreciate y'all watching. I do feel a lot better. And even when I'm sick and don't know really what I'm doing, I'm deck building. Thank y'all so much. And I think right now, though, it is time to shuffle and cut.